This is Entrepreneurial Minds, episode number 14. Da, da, da. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Yo, it's your boy Gary here, back with another one, Entrepreneurial Minds. We back in the building.
Yes, sir, episode number 12. I got it right this time, Gary. You can't play me, man. I'm here. What's up, boy? World boy, King Arthur.
No.
It is 12.
No, you didn't.
Again?
Yes, again, man. John is going to be 12. It just didn't drop yet.
Man, that's okay. We working, though, so that's all it means is we working. That's all that matters.
Actually, I might be wrong. We just dropped 11, right?
Daniel. John.
Daniel's going to be 11. Daniel's going to be 12.
Look at all that work, man. We working so hard. We know what we
This is 14, people. 14. Woo! Honestly, the number don't make a difference. Just keep listening to all of them. Just listen to all of them.
Go back and listen to 1 to 14.
Yep. But either way, we here with another one. A good one. A long-time entrepreneur. A house of entrepreneurs we just learned when we were talking to them. You know. But this is going to shape up to be a pretty good interview.
Already.
Good energy. He doesn't seem to be a boring guy from already when we were talking to him. His name is Jeris Smith. Did I get it right?
Yeah, you got it right, brother. You.
Boom, okay. I'm in there. I'm getting better every week.
Look, before we get started, G&J, before we get started, thank you to all our loyal listeners. Appreciate y'all. I've been getting a lot of phone calls this week, man, from people telling us how good the show been, asking for advice, asking them to plug it in with our special guests and whatnot. And I appreciate y'all, man. So I asked y'all, can y'all go on iTunes, go to the website, entrepreneurminds.org, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, like us, comment, share it, leave us a review. You know, let the world know who we are. Let the world know you love us, and let us know that you out there listening, because we really do appreciate y'all. And we want to say thank you to all our previous guests. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good hustle. Keep up the good grind. And most definitely, we're going to see all y'all out on July 30th. Yeah? Yeah.
Most definitely. July 30th. Tickets go on sale on June 1st. Actually, when you guys hear this, it'll be past June 1st. They're on sale already. So hopefully by the time you hear this, they'll be sold out. I mean, you got to you got to get in on the next one. But either way, July 30th, here in Norfolk, Virginia, at the Spring Hill Suites on Newtown Road. We're holding the Death to the 9 to 5 Conference 2016. It is going to be amazing. We have 3 speakers already that are amazing lined up for you guys. And the 4th that we already are still kind of searching for, we're looking for a female for the ladies, of course. And we've actually come across some good ones. So we're just looking to hash out details and come to a final decision. And it's going to be straight fire for y'all, man. Straight fire.
Yeah, already. So now we got out of the way, man. We want to introduce our guest, Jeris Smith, man. Welcome to the show, man. Appreciate you for coming out.
I appreciate you guys having me, man. Thank you so much.
No problem. Let the world know who you are, Jeris.
Well, my name is Jeris Smith, native of Portsmouth, Virginia. I've been doing computer repair for at least 7 years now, and actually was just started off doing it pretty much just for family and friends, and then it became something that began to grow through relatives and their friends, and next thing I know, it became something that was really official. I'll go more into that in the detail a little later, but 35 years old, started a business pretty early before I hit 30, and didn't even have the mindset of being an entrepreneur at that time, but for some reason I saw a need in the community, and I decided to go and chase that, and to be an assistant and to be a blessing to those around me. I've actually been I'm married to my beautiful wife, Veronica Turner Smith. We've been married going on 3 years now, and that is a testimony within itself. But yeah, I've been blessed to have lived a great full life, and hope to be able to be an inspiration to any other entrepreneurs that might be out there listening.
So you say you started before you were 30?
Yeah. As far as the actual doing the business portion, I started when I was right around 29. It started really small, of course, just myself and a dream. for the most part, is pretty much how it all starts. It was just, it began as a hobby, something that I enjoyed doing. The whole troubleshooting portion, problem solving, and also being able to interact with people and being a blessing to them in areas in which may cost a ton of money for the average job, but I'm able to do it at a discounted price. So I was obviously doing a pretty decent job, and from there, word of mouth, family going to their jobs and, hey, my cousin does this and that, or my son does this and that, and they would refer me there, and then those people would continue to refer, and from there, it began to grow, and I decided to make it official after an interesting incident in which I'll go into detail about here shortly.
Okay. Hey, okay. That sounds very familiar, huh, Gary? Starting about 29, don't it?
Yeah, sure enough.
We're both at 29 right now, so.
Yep. Oh, awesome! That's the magic number, man.
Yes, sir.
Sure enough is. So Jeris, tell us, what do you think it means to have an entrepreneurial mind?
Get it right.
An entrepreneurial mind, to me, it's taking the word "no" out of your vocabulary. Because people just think entrepreneur means to work for no one, when in actuality it's you're working for everyone. I feel like to be an entrepreneur, you have to first know the need of the community, of the people around you, of the nation, and find out in which way you can use that ability to help in that area. And because I believe everyone is given a gift, they're born with a gift. And in some way, shape, or form, you have to use that gift to be able to give back. Not everybody's meant to sit behind a computer and type for their bosses or something like that. But I do believe that there are some people that have that gift to be able to create something out of nothing, and to be able to create jobs and create opportunities for other people to grow and to just to think outside of the box. You know what I mean?
That was a good one. I like that. It means to take "no" out of vocabulary. I like the way he started that.
Yeah. Well, people can understand that every day, man. When you hear yourself telling yourself no, just force yourself to say yeah, and see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like you ever seen that Jim Carrey movie, The Yes Man?
Yeah.
Man, that movie was inspirational, bro.
Yeah, certain parts of it. Some stuff I sure wouldn't want to say yeah to.
Oh yeah, you got to eat the meat and spit the bones out, bro. You can't say yes to everything.
Yeah, but definitely. I mean, I definitely like what you said. You pointed out that people think that quitting your job and starting to work for yourself and such, that you really won't have to answer to anyone anymore. But the truth of the matter is, you go from having one boss to really having a lot of bosses because you serve your customers.
This is true.
So
this is
now
true.
You have to cater to them, and they can be worse than a regular boss, honestly.
This is true, especially if you're on a personal relationship with some of these clients. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. One of the things that I feel that I'm plagued with when I started the business by myself was the fact that once I started to expand, they're still looking for me. They're not necessarily looking for a company representative. They want to deal with me. Mm-hmm. And when they deal with you, they want that hookup. They want that relationship. I mean, which is all understandable, which is why you should pick and choose who represents your company wisely, because they want that same feel and respect and representation that they got from you. And I'm plagued with that even to this day. I've turned people that wanted to get a website built, and we're like, yeah, well, we have our website representative. You can give them a call, and they're like, well, I talk to you. So I want to talk to you, and you tell me what your numbers are. I said, well, this person represents our business, and I'll talk to them, but I want to talk to you. So and a lot of times it can become a burden, but understandingly enough, it's because I represent the business, and they have formed relationship, and with that, you kind of have to, accommodate for some, and they can get kind of irate if they feel like they have to deal with somebody else besides you.
Mm-hmm. And that's where it comes of, like I tell Arthur that all the time, of trying to build the business that is not completely on our backs. I wanted to grow independently of us, so that so that works both ways. Some people like the fact that they are the brand, the company is them, and they're the face of everything. But then again, when it's built separate, like how you said now, like if you're building it and now you have people that's in place to handle certain things, and you're trying to pull yourself out of those things. But when people know your face and know that you are that, it's hard to do so.
Yes.
So
yes.
So everybody knows 100%. Smart Giraffe instead of they know Jeris Smith.
Correct. And it doesn't help that one of the things I guess I forgot to mention is I'm 6'9". So the whole sport is kind of like I'm plagued with that name of being the smart giraffe, So when you have a smart giraffe and they're like 5'3", it doesn't necessarily make sense. But that's kind of what's plagued with me. So they want to speak to the Smart Giraffe instead of Smart Giraffe Computer Services.
That's just smart. That's just a smart baby giraffe. They just smart baby giraffe.
We actually have it's funny. I will go into that shortly, but I do have a junior giraffe mentoring program that I do.
Okay.
For the youth. We went to the first one and it was very successful. If you went on the Facebook page, you might have saw some of the graduation pictures we had in the December time frame of our first junior giraffe. And he's 10 years old, and he can take a Mac laptop apart and tell you exactly what each part is and what it does.
Awesome. That's amazing. 10 years old?
10 years old. He was 9 when he came to me, and we only spent maybe 3 or 4 months together, 1 day a week. And through that, he went through some rigorous testing. He did some hands-on. He actually went with me on a couple of jobs and was able to get some good hands-on experience that he's able to use. Now he's actually doing some internships with William and Mary at 10 years old. I mean, the guy is, he's amazing, man. I'm really, really proud of him. Something I would like to see as a product from the Junior Giraffe Mentoring Program. And we'll be starting another one up here this summer. Probably going to have the same format. We were having issues doing it again because of finding facilities, and sometimes the monies weren't rolling in like they were supposed to. But we believe we're just going to get this thing off the ground and do it because the kids just need this kind of knowledge, man. The knowledge that they're not just going to get, sitting in a classroom, but get some good hands-on stuff that can prepare them, weaponry that will prepare them for the warfare they're going to have to face out here in the job, in the economic society we're dealing with.
Mr. Smith, you are speaking literally my language. I have a nonprofit as well. I have a nonprofit, and we go out and teach kids tech skills, basic typing skills, basic information systems, information systems, all that good stuff, basic introduction to computer languages and all those good things, And I have a degree from ECPI in database programming, so you are literally speaking my language.
I actually did time at ECPI. I got my certifications from ECPI. I'm very familiar with that.
Okay. ECPI works online. I like that.
Yeah, I went there too.
Hey, you can't go wrong, man.
Nah, sure enough can't.
So, you said you started about 7 years ago. What made you fill this void, or how did you see this void that needed to be filled, and you were the one to fulfill it?
Well, I have a little small story for that. I was doing during the day. I worked at Norfolk Naval Shipyard. That was what was paying for my bills and everything else that I was doing. And then, but by night, I would still go by and do computer repairs for people that needed it. I didn't have an office. I was doing it right out of the frog in my house. And I went to a computer shop to purchase some parts. And while I was there, another young lady walked in, and 2 young ladies, rather. They walked in with a laptop, and this place obviously did repairs as well. And they brought the laptop to one of the techs and said, could you please take a look at this laptop? And they're like, well, it's going to cost us $50 just to crack it open. It was like, well, could you just let us know what it is, please? We need to know if we even want to waste our time. So they bypassed the $50, and they went ahead and looked at it, and they said, okay, you're going to need a new hard drive. You're going to need a new hard drive. It's going to cost you $212. And overhearing this conversation as I'm searching for parts, I began to cringe at the price, because I'm like thinking to myself, to change out a hard drive is literally 2 screws. I said 2 screws, maybe 5 minutes worth of work to switch out. I mean, this is not to include hard drive in, it's going to cost you $212, parts and labor. And I know how much hard drives cost, and I know how much they were getting over, and it made my stomach hurt. So as they began to exit the building because the price was too exorbitant, I decided to follow them out. And as I followed them out, and mind you, I'm still in shipyard clothing, so I had some dirty coveralls on, steel-toe boots that are busted. You know, I definitely didn't have the appearance of a computer repairman. So I approached her and I said, "Excuse me, how much did they quote you again?" And she was like, $212. And I said, "Oh my God, that is crazy." I said, "I tell you what, I can fix it for like half of that." I said, you know, and this is two young ladies, so I didn't want them to get the wrong impression. So I said, "Here, take my number down, because you know you don't want to walk up to somebody. I can fix your computer, girl. Give me your number." You know, it was kind of crazy. I said, "Here, take my number down. Give me 15 minutes to get home. Call me with the model number, and I can look up the part number for you, and I can get you a better price." And she was like, "Well, Geek Squad said they do it for $150. I said, "It's still too much for what you're trying to do.
Right.
Now just call me in 15 minutes and we'll make it happen." And she never called. And through that, I felt like, you know, I don't know if it's because she didn't trust me because of the way that I appeared, or you know, just some random guy on the street that just wanted to do me computer parts for cheap. I don't know if he has quality or what, you know. And understandably so. Now, same computer shop, I had another issue where there was a lady walking in, and she had her son in tow, and was like, "Okay, well, I need Microsoft Office for my son. He's in school. They use this program, and we need it on our home computer." And they said, "Okay, well, we have the old one for $179, and then we have the new one for $199. And again, I cringed. Because as I was beginning to think, I had a free copy in my truck at the time. And I said, "I just want to bless this lady." So I went out and I sat in my truck and I timed myself. I said, "I'm going to give myself 10 minutes out here. And if she walks out within 10 minutes, I'm going to give her this disc." And she never came out.
Intentionally good.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah, they were. And I wanted to help. But I realized that just somebody coming off the street, just looking like whatever, just a regular Joe or whatever, people are less apt to trust you with their laptops or their computers, because, you know, with people's computers, that's their livelihood, that's their life, you know what I'm saying? Their security codes, their passwords, their bank accounts, everything are tied into these computers. So when they give you their computer, they give you their life, they trust you. It's a security thing, and they don't want to give it to somebody that they just met off the street that said, "Oh, I'll do it for cheap." You know, they want to be able to trust who they're dealing with. And so when I saw that, and I saw my heart in wanting to bless these people with better pricing, but I didn't have the appearance. So I realized that I needed to become legit to be able to combat the local companies that are robbing these people blind due to a monopoly, because there's not many computer repair shops around. So if they feel like, "Hey, we're the ones standing here, so we're going to be able to charge you God knows whatever what, you're going to trust us because we've been around for 10 years, we're reputable, and you don't want to go anywhere else but with us." So I wanted to be able to change that and to save the money of the people around us, to know, the word says that our people perish for their lack of knowledge, and I don't want them to feel like they have to fork over $700 to fix a computer when it's a $100 job and a 20-minute ordeal, you know. So that's where Smart Giraffe birthed, and you know, everything, my desire to want to become an entrepreneur at that point, to be able to not only make money for myself, but to save money for others, you know. And that's how that got started.
Preach, brother. Well, most entrepreneurs, they'll tell you your why has to be pretty darn strong for you to thrive in this type of world, man. That why right there is legit. That's a legit why you want to serve people. So
yeah, exactly. You're the tech Robin Hood.
You know, I like that. You might hear that again.
Yeah, man.
I like it.
Yeah, that's good stuff there. And you know what? You brought up some interesting point though. The security aspect of it. You know, when you said that you know people coming off the street and just looking like, oh, this guy got dirty boots on. I'm gonna give him my computer.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
And that is an interesting thing. And that made you decide to just go straight legit. And you. So, I mean, how long was the process of when you really decided, like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this? How long did it take you to do it?
Honestly, it took me about a good 2 years, longer than most. Mainly because, like I said, it was by myself. It was definitely something that I just wanted to do, and I didn't really have a whole lot of support system at the time. I wanted to. At the time, I didn't have Smart Giraffe at that time. I was actually J&J Computer Services, which stood for Jeris and Jesus, because I figured if I couldn't fix it, he could. So we started.
I like
there,
that though.
And I was trying my best to try and find a way to market that idea. You know, I was trying to come up with a logo. I was trying to come up with a whole, you know, color scheme and things of that nature to make myself marketable and brand myself. And I was unsuccessful in trying to do that, and just couldn't. It wouldn't click for some reason. So as I was sitting there trying to come up with an idea for a name or something like that, actually trying to design a website, and it was coming along very slow, and I got an email from Xbox Live. If anybody's familiar with gaming like I am, email from Xbox Live from a gamer tag, which is basically the name that I used online, that I had chosen back in 2005. In 2005, I was playing online, and they tell you make up a name, and all the names I came up with they just came up. Everyone was taken. So I said, all right, Microsoft, make one up for me. And they made up Smart Giraffe.
Really?
and my best friend who was playing the game with me, who knows how tall I am, thought it was the funniest thing in the world. Because it was like, how does Microsoft know it is freaking perfect, that this name is perfect for you? And, you know, and I played with it for years and, you know, never thought about it again, but I'm still constantly getting emails from this account. So as I'm sitting here trying to develop this website, and it just wasn't coming together, and then I got an email from Xbox Live, and I see this thing and it says Smart Giraffe, and I laughed at it, and my mother-in-law, who is absolutely in love with giraffes, I mean, literally, they're all over her house, dinner plates, purses, statues, paintings, clocks, you name it. Everything is a giraffe, man. You know, it's almost scary. It's like Jumanji, just, you know, but it's incredible. But she was like, you know, that's a great name for a company. And I'm like, I never thought about it like that. You know, I was like, you know what? And then I could make the cards and the brochures giraffe skin, you know. And it's like, yeah. And the brainstorm started to come. And I was like, how about we do like a giraffe with glasses? So it's like Smart Giraffe. And it just started to take off from there. And I was like, I can see the branding. The branding just started to kind of formulate on its own just from the name. And I was like, yes, that's what I'm going to do. So I jump on Google and I grab a first picture of a giraffe with glasses that I can find. And I'm like, this is sweet. This is going to be my logo. Not thinking about copywriting or anything. I'm just like, this is what's going to do it. You know, and I grabbed that. And then from there, just started, I was like, color schemes. Giraffe skins like orange and black. And I got a color scheme now. I'm going to do everything orange and black. And then the brochure idea came because I was doing that with a giraffe pattern. And I was like, perfect. And then it just all started to formulate from there. And, you know, then I got convicted a little bit with the whole grabbing the Google image. So I had my brother-in-law, who is actually a graphic designer guru, graduated cum laude from Howard, and had him design me a logo, and that's what you see there. And he did an excellent job with it, and it's been basically the moniker, the representation of the company that I've been dealing with for the past few years now.
That is a good, unique story.
It is. For one, in the beginning, I was going to ask, because the name Smart Giraffe, at first, I was just like, huh. Like, I like the logo and everything. I was like, it's It's just, I was like, it stands out and it's good, but I was curious where this name came from. But when you explain it, that is like, perfect. That is perfect. It's the funniest thing in the world because it's like, when as soon as you told me, you're like, I'm 6'9", I was like, oh yes, okay, all right.
I get it now.
I was like, perfectly get it. And it's
exactly,
it's
man.
So thank you, Microsoft.
Yeah, it is.
Who says that video games kills brain cells?
Exactly. It builds businesses, man. Oh, that's good. Yeah. I can't make this stuff up, man. It's just crazy how it all kind of, worked itself out.
And you mentioned something earlier. You said it took you a while to get started. And the entrepreneur, I said it once, I'll say it a billion times. The reason Entrepreneurial Minds exist is for people like you and I. When we were first starting to do our business, and we had no resources, we didn't have anybody to go to and help us get things started.
Absolutely.
What was the process like after you got your Smart Giraffe logo and stuff? Like, what was the next thing you did? Like, how did business take off from there?
Well, because I didn't really have a big business background or mindset, and you mix that in with a little bit of pride, I kind of didn't want any help from jump, and I was just like, oh, I'm Smart Giraffe now. I have a logo. I have a brochure. I'm just going to do stuff now. I'm just going to fix people's computers, and that's it. I didn't really have a vision of where I was going to be in 5 years. I didn't have a business plan of any sort. I didn't have an idea of expansion for residual income or anything. I wasn't thinking of anything. I just wanted to fix computers because I enjoyed doing it. I could make money off of it and help people. And somewhere along those lines, the thing about God I find interesting is the fact that he knows me, so he finds different ways to make me better by putting me in situations and where I fall short. For instance, while I'm working on somebody's computer, and I'm like, man, it's going to cost such and such to fix this thing. I'm sorry, it's very expensive. You're going to have to replace the motherboard. And then they ask a question like, oh, well, do you sell any computers? And I'm like, no, I just fixed it. But through that, after about 2 or 3 times of running into those situations, you realize, hey, there's a need out there for people to want to purchase some computers. And if they trust you enough to be able to fix their computers, they'll trust you enough to purchase one from you. So that is exactly what I did. I started selling computers as well. So that was an area in which I was able to grow. And of course, through a little bit of talking with my wife, and I realized that there were some other business things that I needed to do, like get a business license. That would be very important.
So you was already rolling before you even done that, huh?
Oh God, I was way out of order, man. I didn't have any kind of guidance. I didn't talk to any other business owners to say how should I go about this. I just had this picture perfect idea in my mind that this is the way it was supposed to go.
And we gonna make this thing happen.
That was the bottom line. I was going to make it happen by any means necessary.
Ooh.
So once I realized I needed to get a business license, I went that route. And then, I didn't even have a legitimate bank account for the business. It was going into one of my personal savings. And I was like, okay, well, people are writing checks out to Smart Giraffe, but I don't know how to cash this because I don't have an account for this. So that forced me to be able to open up an account, and basically now I can get checks written to Smart Giraffe. And like I said, being put in these weird situations is what helped me grow. Now, based in a certain situation where I'm overwhelmed, will put me in a position to say, hey, you need help. You need to start reaching out and helping others so that they can help you. And hence I started looking into interning. And I'll be doing that here very soon, actually. I might be going the Donald Trump apprentice approach. Not sure. But that idea was thrown at me today, and I kind of like it.
Okay.
But I do like the opportunity of teaching what I know, because I feel like when you leave this earth, the only thing that you leave behind is your children and your legacy. And I feel like if you're going to leave here, it means something when you're gone, and instill as much as you can in the others, so that way you can actually live a long time after you're gone. As far as being business-minded, I got a little more business-minded when I started networking. I started meeting people like Bert Bergen, who is one of the CEOs for WearBlackBiz.
I know Bert. I know.
Yeah, Bert.
Been hearing his name lately.
Shout out to Bert. What's up, Bert?
Yeah. I hope he's listening.
He will.
But he that dude. He is a true definition of a supporter. He is. Before I even knew anything, I'm just fixing computers. I just started and went public with my business, and now everyone is like, hey, sharing it on FB and all that. And next thing I know, I'm getting a post on my page saying that Smart Giraffe Computer Services is now the Black Business of the Week. And I'm like, who are these people? How do they? I've never fixed your computer. How am I the Business of the Week? But my God, I've never received an award in my life, but I'm excited.
Thanks.
So through that, I was able to reach out and meet Bert. And from there, Bert basically showed me to a whole lot of different people. I loved his spirit from jump, so I latched on and just basically went wherever he went. And from there, through my determination to hang with him, I was able to meet a whole lot of other entrepreneurs and learn a whole lot more about where my business needs to go. And as I began to speak more about my business and how I got started and where I desire to go, I started running into others that wanted to partner, that wanted to help in certain areas, and took me places that I'd never been. I showed them, slides of me doing the Junior Giraffe mentoring. And through that, someone that worked with the foster care system of the city of Norfolk wanted my card, and the next day I was calling up, and they hired me as a vendor for the city of Norfolk to be able to help with mentoring foster kids, and it's like things that I never, ever thought of. But just the pattern of meeting with people like Bert and networking and socializing opened up my eyes to things that I'd never thought of doing, and took Smart Giraffe in ways that I'd never thought.
That's that whole story. That's amazing, man. You know what? And what's ringing in my head is there's a real estate investor who was pretty big. He's a mentor. He does he's same business that I'm in, but on a way another level. And he's one thing that I heard him say the other day, or one of his podcasts he was on, was people need to focus on progress, not perfection.
Absolutely.
And that's what your story was. Like, you actually you went to work and started making progress, and as you made progress, you realized certain things need to change. Or, okay, look, now I'm realizing I need to do this. You was making checks before you had your bank account, so you had a problem that you couldn't make checks, so you got a bank account. But a lot of people, before they even start making checks, they're too busy worrying about, who should I get for a business bank account? They spend 2 months, months on trying to decide between Wells Fargo and SunTrust. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't even make sense, right?
Gary, you say this all the time. Don't get, what is it? Analysis paralysis. Yeah, analysis paralysis.
They get so stuck in the information and not on the actual action steps. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm guilty of it before, plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? So,
oh my God.
But yeah,
I need that on a T-shirt, man. Oh, I love that. Analysis paralysis. Wow.
But yeah, man,
absolutely, man.
But the story is great, man. You've come a long way. So how long has it been?
7 years.
Yeah, 7 years now. I actually is doing the business 5 years as Smart Giraffe. I had 2 years as J&J. But Smart Giraffe has been 5 years. We celebrated 5 years, I believe, in August of last year. My wife threw me a really nice party, and we had a whole lot of my smart customers, is what I call them, show up. And we had a little dining experience, and we gave some awards out to some of the smart customers of the year who definitely were big supporters or who was a big sower to the business. And and my wife put, not only is she a photographer, but she's a kick butt. God, what do you call those things? This is bad. I hope I can edit this out. What do you call those things? when they when they set up parties and stuff. For people.
Event planner.
Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. Don't tell her. She's probably gonna get this clip.
Is she? That's quite funny. You say that. No, because we are actually definitely probably want to talk to her.
We're in the middle of hosting the conference that we talked about earlier in the show. So
and plus there's going to be a lot more events. So we definitely will be.
That's the end to the 9 to 5, right?
Death to the 9 to 5.
Death to the 9. I know it had something to do with death and 9 to 5. Killing 9 to 5. Something. I like the idea. I was actually talking about that earlier when I was researching the site. I was like, man, I like that. I like that concept. I do like that.
Well, we see you there July 30th.
Yeah, man, you can't miss me. I'll be the tallest person there.
All right, I like that.
I'm seeing your business, man. You got a lot of serious good branding going on here.
Yes,
like the way you set up everything, like you call them smart customers and all stuff. That is amazing. That's the type of stuff these people love. That is gonna go a long way. How long have you been full time in the business?
Man, I've been full time. I guess I should say when I started, because it was. I mean, granted, I was working at the shipyard still, but it was still a full time job because I would actually devote more hours to that than I would do my day job. I would work my day job. I would get off. I would take off the clothes, put on my real clothes, or what I call my giraffe suit, and then I would go out and I would work on computers for to maybe 10, 11 o'clock at night. And whether I'm making house calls or whether I'm working on them in my frog, it's still going to work. So I devoted way more hours. And then when I wasn't repairing, I was working on branding. I was designing websites. I was fixing computers to get ready to sell. I was trying to come up with innovative ideas to try and get the word out. So it's the thing about entrepreneurial minds is the fact that it never stops. Mm-hmm. Your mind is constantly grinding on ways to either improve or to move forward. And the thing that I always talk about is the fact that with my business, I like to operate in the spirit of excellence. I don't like to do anything that comes across halfway. With businesses like my own, especially black businesses, we kind of have a strike against us already. And the funny thing is, I think one of the biggest insults that I've ever received was when I was actually doing business with a client and I was writing up their receipt for them, and the way I was talking and presenting everything to them and showed them what I was able to repair, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're very professional." And I'm like what? Am I not supposed to be? Is that does that shock you? Does that surprise you that I'm professional? It's a business.
Wow.
But I guess they were expecting something different from me. I don't know, but but with that, it kind of just pushed me further into that, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to show that we're not just a run-of-the-mill business. So many times they plague business owners, black business owners, and also people that work for black businesses as being full of attitude or dirty or not up to par with other businesses, and I beg to differ with that. So I want to make sure that what we do as a business is done in the spirit of excellence. One of the things I'll never forget is that Bert, when he first saw my logo, he thought that we were a bigger company owned by a white guy because of the professionalism that came across with. That's what he said, and in that I was like, well, I've accomplished my mission. We've accomplished the color line. We've erased the color lines of the business, and now you can just associate good business and bad business instead of a white business or a black business. So that's my goal, and I say, okay, well, we're not going to put out a flyer that's halfway. We're going to make sure everything down to the font and the font size is done with a spirit of excellence. I don't want to go halfway with it. If I'm in public and I'm doing computer business, I'll definitely have my big I Fix Computer Smart Giraffe t-shirt on, or I'm wearing my Smart Giraffe Computer Services polo. I'm operating in the spirit of excellence because anywhere that you go, if you're doing work, you have to look the part, which I found out the hard way, as you may know. and you also have to be able to represent your company boldly and confidently. And therefore, I make sure that I do that from time to time. And I always deal with honesty. You know, even when you go on the Facebook page, I tell my client, go and leave me a review, but be totally honest about your experience with Smart Giraffe. I don't want you to just butter me up, per se. I want the truth. I want people to be able to see the ups and downs of the business, and that way we know how we improve. You know, the Bible says, be wary of everyone speaking well of you, because you never know. I mean, if everybody's saying good things about you all the time, then somebody's not telling the truth.
Yeah, but
exactly. Yep, that's for sure.
So
that's for sure.
Be honest. You know, you go on somewhere, you go to somebody's site, they got 1,000 different reviews, and all of them are 5 stars, and everybody said they were great. And the first thing you think is, they paid these people to put these reviews on, or they must be friends, or they probably hired somebody just to make up a whole bunch of fake names. You know, you automatically think, okay, this is false. But I wanted them to be honest. And even through that honesty, if you go up there now, we have over almost 40 reviews, and every single one of them gives me 5 stars right off the bat. And that not even one gives me a 4.5, which I take pride in that, because it lets me know that I'm headed in the right direction. And I always tell them to be honest. I never, tell them to just make me look good on social media and bring me more clients. No, these people that refer me, these new calls that I get on a regular basis, is due to the relationship that I have with these clients, that they know that I'm going to take care of them. They know I'm saving them money. Even in our brochure, it shows what other companies will charge you for that specific service and what we charge. So to show that there is a market analysis being done, to show that we are ahead of our game and what we are saving you money and still offering you the same quality services as anyone else.
This is amazing. I'm loving it.
The man is speaking.
Amazing.
Hold on, Gary, before you go on record, hold your thought, please, from Gary. I just want to say something. So I told Gary, some lady called me today, I didn't say her name, and she was asking me how can she get her business off the ground. And one thing I told her was exactly what you said when you first started talking, when you were saying you would go to work and you came home and got to work on your own stuff. You have to put the time. If you work a regular 9 to 5, you got to. You have to. You must put that energy into your own business just as much as you put into somebody else's business. If you're going to make somebody else rich, you might as well make yourself rich right along with them.
You preaching, bro.
I take my breath away, and I told her that, like, I understand her business. I love what she's doing, and I hope you're listening. I'm going to tag you when we post this, just for you to hear this part, just for you. He told you. Everybody's going to tell you, you have to get busy on your own stuff, just as busy as you are on somebody else's stuff. And I'm like that, man.
Absolutely. And man, it's funny you brought that up. I was just yesterday watching this interview at the Breakfast Club with Dame Dash from Rockefeller. I just watched it for the first time yesterday, and he was going in on that same aspect about if you can pass it down to your children. Is this business, where you're working at, it's paying you, but could your kid get a job here? Could you give this to your children? If you can't, then it's not yours.
Right.
You're working to make someone else rich instead of being able to look out for your own family and pull away. But, the vice to that is the fact that if you're not working, your business is not growing.
For sure.
Because you are the energy, you're the motor, you're the propeller that pushes your business. And when you stop, the business stops. So it's a constant, consistent grind that has to go on. And that's why I've seen so many successful people talk about their lack of sleep because of the fact that they're consistently driving, trying to achieve a certain goal or multiple goals. And it takes more than the average day to make that kind of thing happen. And you're definitely talking about building relationships, because they tell you that it's not what you know, it's who you know, which is somewhat true. Right. And in some aspects, that's the whole key to networking, because there's somebody that has a key to the lock that's on your business. And you have to be able to find that person through relationship. Yeah, and definitely. I'm not going to speak anymore.
You dropped a lot of good stuff right there, all in that one little sentence right there. Whole lot of stuff right there. And I mean, I definitely will have to agree as far as, the fact that everybody that's successful put in the hours, they put in the work, and especially in the beginning, because I am a firm believer in Arthur hear me say it all the time, because I read Michael Gerber's The E-Myth, and that book is just amazing, and I was going to ask you because I'm seeing how your business is going. What I'm seeing here is franchise, so I'm just going to say that's what I'm seeing. It might be God sitting here getting here and speaking to you, because you might have heard it before, but all the branding and everything that you're doing,
you are a walking brand.
You have terms and everything for everything, like your giraffe suit and everything. That stuff is just all amazing. It's just it's all there, and as long as all the process and everything is set into place, and once you build it and it's to that point, I see this as franchising.
The largest computer repair company in the country. Yep. I called it.
Yep.
Man. Here on Entrepreneur Minds, I called it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna play this every time you open a store.
Yeah. And so this might be your curse. I'm going to tell you about the Entrepreneur Mind curse. Everybody who's coming on our show is almost 2x or 3x their business. Every single one of them. So maybe you might not be the guy. I don't know. You might be the guy to not to do it. But who am I? Right?
I beg to differ. We're gonna. You know what? I'll take that.
Okay.
You know, I receive it with open arms, because I do see that. I do see expansion. Franchising would be amazing. Getting a storefront would be amazing. But at the current moment, we're a mobile business, and we do that to keep our overhead low, to keep our prices low for our clients. And with that, you know, it allows us to be able to also make home visits, because not everybody wants to drag their huge desktop into a store. You know, we can come to you, and, you know, that's a rarity in computer repair. They're like, hey, come up here, we're open from the hours to this to that. And, you know, but we actually offer the opportunity for us to come to you, to be able to be a blessing to you in your home without you having to move. You know, we have some elderly clients who don't want to bring their big tower up to a store, you know what I mean? And we want to be able to service them as well. So looking at the big picture of how we can help clients, help them save money, help them feel comfortable. You know, the only reason why I believe people go to Geek Squad is because that's just a synonymous name with computer repair. They don't know anywhere else to go. And I believe that Smart Giraffe can be that. And that's the key to branding, is when your name becomes synonymous with an item. You know, when people don't say, I'm going to go buy diapers, they say, I'm going to go buy some Pampers. You know, when they say, you know, I'm going to get some juice, you say, I'm going to get some Kool-Aid. You know, your brand becomes item. You know, when you say, I'm going to go get some Starbucks, you already know what they're talking about. You know, and you say, hey, if your grandmama say, hey, man, go get some food out the Frigidaire. You know, refrigerator, but it's the brand name. You know, because your brand has become so well known that it is associated with that item, and I believe that's the key to businesses and branding. So that's what I would like to see for Smart Giraffe. When people see Smart Giraffe, they'll think quality, they'll think excellence, and they'll think I can get my computer fixed.
In my Kenyan Ivory invoice message.
Yep. I mean, I would assume, you know, for one though, I think with your business, one of the key points is that you don't have the overhead. So I think going of getting the actual brick and mortar business, other than maybe just like an office building, I think that might in the long run might hurt you, because in the long run you up your bills, and you have to up your prices maybe, you know. And if you do that, you might end up losing. But I think staying with the trucks and things like that, and I mean, do you have trucks? Yeah. I'm for some reason now you're a tall guy, but I'm seeing like a PT Cruiser or something, a yellow PT Cruiser with a giraffe on the side or something. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, you know what? And I'm working on that. I wanted to get. You remember? You know, I wanted to get one of those. Like a giraffe with glasses sticking out of the roof of a car, kind of like a Terminex bug or something. You know what I mean? I wanted to kind of go with that kind of branding, definitely a color scheme type vehicle. Currently, it's an Avalanche with just a magnet on the side, which is what has been working with me so far. I've gotten phone calls just off the magnet alone. But I definitely do see a full-body wrap truck coming in the future, whether it's a van or whatever. If someone's listening and wants to donate, I will accept that with open arms as well. I have mechanics that will fix it up, so I'm not really worried about how bad it looks or runs. But we are definitely trying to look to bless others and be able to travel. It's kind of tough when you have jobs in downtown Portsmouth and you get a call in Denby and the Hampton, Fort Eustis area, and you try to, be at both, and it's kind of taxing, but it's rewarding.
So, are you alone right now? Is it just you on the streets, or?
Well, actually, it has gotten to that point where it is time for expansion, which is this week while I'll be meeting with some interns. Because it has been just me. I've brought some people on and off. Like I do have an assistant who helps me with web design, solely because that's another area in which we offer services. But it can be kind of timely, and working on a website will take away time from me being able to swap out a hard drive or change a motherboard or upgrade the RAM in someone's computer. So I have contracted that out to a sister of mine who does really excellent work. And, so I have her work, partner with Smart Giraffe as well. And she does great work. We have a few clients actually who have done it, and they were very pleased with our work. So now when it comes down to repair, I'm very picky about that. So I haven't necessarily picked up another tech as of yet. One thing about computer techs is a lot of them are know-it-alls. So, it's like you can't teach them anything, and I haven't really found one that is really hungry like I am, and that has a heart for the people. So I'm working right now to, combing through to try and find those people that are interested in serving the community and at the same time have a passion for computers that I can help join alongside the whole Smart Giraffe union.
Okay. So... Mr. J, we've heard all the good times. You tell us about the good times getting started, the good times showing people up, the good times with the branding and having fun with it. Please give us some insight on a failure that you've come across and how you dealt with that.
Well, I have a few of those. One of the first ones started, I was so passionate early, in the J&J Smart Giraffe conversion. I was so passionate about trying to fix people's computers and real sensitive on their pockets that I really didn't have a price list. So when I would go and I would work with clients and I would say, okay, I would do something for them, and they say how much, and I'd say, well, I would either say, give me a love offering, or I would say, pay me what you think I'm worth. And both of those would normally end up around the area of $40. Regardless of the job.
Right.
And there was a young lady who lived in the project area who needed a motherboard changed out. And I said, okay, well, I'll take that for you. It's definitely a tough job, but I'll take care of it. Changed out the motherboard, and I said, okay, well, just give me what you think I deserve. And I got $25. And $25 for a motherboard removal, which Best Buy would have actually charged anywhere between $350, or they'll say, hey, we don't change that, but check out this new Dell over here. So after receiving $25 for that actually was the stepping stone for me to actually establish a price list. Because I knew at that point in time, I knew what my worth was, and I said, I can't continue to lose out like that, because a motherboard's a 4-hour job, easy.
Right.
And I think it's worth a little more than $25.
For definitely.
So,
definite.
Yeah, and that was, like I said, a wake-up call. I would say another one was when I tackled a tablet here recently. Someone had a tablet that had a cracked screen on it, and I have very little experience with tablets as far as replacing screens. There's a technique to it, because you're talking digitizers where it reads the finger. You're talking LCDs. You're talking the glass itself. And there's 3 parts to a screen. So here I am trying to replace the screen. And when I replaced it, put it back together, used a special glue or what have you, and it didn't work properly. And I had to order the part from China. So it took 2 weeks to get here, which is not good for a client who wants their stuff back. So it took 2 weeks to get here. And then when it got here, it still didn't work properly, and they're waiting, and they're like, man, we're going to just have to buy another one. And I felt so bad that it just wasn't working no matter what I did, that I literally went out and bought them a brand new one. And I gave it to them.
And I apologize deeply for not being able to do what I said that I could do. And basically kind of making matters worse in that situation. And because I'd rather do that than super overcharge you for something that I did wrong. You know, and so I went out and I bought them a new one, and they was like, "Oh, you didn't have to do that." And I said, "Oh, yes, I did."
Yes, I did.
So I made sure that they felt appreciated and loved, because sometimes in the game of business, you have to take losses to catch a win out of the situation, because it's a win after all. Actually, it's never really a loss.
Yes,
you know, you have your W's and your L's. You know, there are wins and you have lessons. You know, they're never losses. You always learn from it.
I like
True
that.
entrepreneur
like
speaking
that.
right there.
I like that.
True entrepreneur speaking right there.
That's good stuff. But you know, people, you guys are hearing the perfect example of true customer service.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is true, because that is why he has 35 reviews and 35 5-stars on his page.
Yeah.
He cares. He cares, and they know it, and they see
Mm-hmm.
it. You know, and this is the exact perfect example of customer service.
Proof is in the pudding.
Man,
A great interview, man. This is amazing. You guys, I know you guys are going to get so much out of this. If you haven't already, I don't know what you're doing. Like, this is crazy. Like, you have to get something out of this. This is good stuff. Really good stuff.
Man, I pray so, man. I'm actually honored to have had the opportunity to speak with you guys. You know, I talk about my business a lot because, you know, when it consumes you, you know, and anything that you pour a lot in, you know, Scripture says that wherever your treasure is, there your heart is also. So I've sold a lot of my money and time into this business. So that's where my passion is. So I spend a lot of time talking about it and, you know, telling people about the quality of my work. And I'd rather have, you know, a lot of times I don't even have to do it no more. You know, randomly in churches, I'm just greeting people, and then they come up to me and they say, "I told somebody about your business yesterday." I'm like, wow, well, you know, it kind of speaks for itself, and I didn't even know the person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had to ask her, how did you even know about the
business? That must be a good feeling, though.
It's an excellent feeling, man, because to me, that lets me know that I'm doing something right. Mm-hmm. Because no one will refer somebody to a place if it's horrible. They always tell you to stay away. You know, don't go to this place. I've seen posts on Facebook where people will take pictures of a place and say, "Don't ever go there." You know, they did this to me. They ripped me off. And, you know, to see the exact opposite, where people will happily post videos and pictures of their computer working and will, you know, attest to us. And I've gotten so many referrals from that. I mean, so much so that we just shipped off a MacBook to Decatur, Georgia. Somebody bought a laptop off of our website using the layaway plan that we have to be able to do their video blogging. They purchased it and we just shipped it to Decatur. We just had somebody purchase a MacBook from us in Miami. We actually had somebody in Aberdeen, Maryland actually ship us their laptop for us to work on it. And I can only imagine how many computer repair shops there are between here and Aberdeen that they bypassed.
That is awesome.
Because they believe in our quality of work. So that means so much, and that means that it goes beyond the 757 and to anywhere where people need that work done. We're willing to go as far to help as we need to.
You serve the world. People. You serve the people, and you will be served. Yes, sir.
Now this isn't a true thing. Now this isn't off topic because it's still about the business. But I'm scrolling through your Facebook page, right? And I can't say I'm loving the logo because I'm going down and. I see the giraffe with a Christmas hat on, with a Santa Claus hat on. I'm like, this is just amazing, man. I love that. Like, the brand is just like...
It sells itself literally, right?
Yeah, correct. Man. Like I told you, man, it's just a method of branding. It's like, hey, why don't you do this with it? Or why don't you do this with it for this particular event or this holiday? And I'm like, let's see if I can even do that. And I'm able to do that. And I give honor and glory to God for that, because I don't know how these ideas come up, these smart customers and, you know, the smart plan for the maintenance plan that I have, you know, as far as being able to label and brand like I do, I can't take credit for it. I really can't.
Yes, definitely. So hats off to you, definitely.
You take the Santa Claus.
Thank you so much.
So, man, Jay, man, so we got a couple questions before we get out of here, man. We're going to ask you.
Sure.
What kind of...
Well, hold on. Before we go there, before we get to any questions, I had one more I wanted to ask. As far as now, so what kind of services do you give to businesses? Like, do you do any consulting for like softwares and programs to businesses and stuff like that?
Yeah, we do commercial work. As far as one of the things that's been popular among the commercial part is the monthly maintenance plan that we provide. We have 3 different plans, which is the Smart Plan, the Smarter Plan, and the Smartest Plan. And those basically derive of different things. Like the Smart Plan is the basic plan, which consists of having all of your computers the many computers that you desire have firewall, antivirus, monthly cleaning, the quarterly physical cleaning, updates, Windows updates, things of that nature, done for you so you can extend the life of your computer without having to go and keep buying a computer every 6 months or years or what have you. And then we have the Smarter Plan, which includes phone support, remote support, being able to fix your computer without having to be there. And Smartest Plan, which after 2 years of the Smartest Plan, we actually replace all the computers that are covered with brand new ones. We've had a couple of businesses sign on with that, and you can get from 1 to 10 computers covered, and it's a monthly residual plan that we've come up with, and that businesses kind of fall for, because that way they don't have to really worry about whether their computers are doing what they need it to do, especially when you're talking tax services that have to have special guidelines as far as having firewalls installed and things of that nature, because they're carrying very sensitive information. When we're talking like the contracting company, ABC Contracting, who signs up for our Smart Plan to be able to have all their front desk and all their computers that they use to make government contracts, make sure they're running fluid and fast, and that's the last thing they need is a hang up on that end. Mm-hmm. So we also have dealt with businesses as far as, like I said, web design. We've definitely done some designing websites for them for, whether it be e-commerce, whether they need things purchased, or whether just to showcase what they do. We've done some of that. And I've actually been, my wife and I have been coming together in her event planning side of talking of doing some networking events where we can actually kind of get together and mingle, and I get to share a little bit of knowledge of what I've learned over the years and how I can help other businesses grow as well, because one of the things that Bert would always say is that being invisible is bad for business.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah, it is.
You can't. So being a business and knowing that the only way that you will be able to grow is if people know about you. You have to be able to go out and make some noise, as he would say, and you have to be able to enhance your circle to be able to reach out to others and also be a blessing to more of the community, because every person that you reach, you have an opportunity to reach somebody else that you wouldn't have reached had you not met that person. Mm-hmm. Almost like a 6 degrees of separation kind of thing.
Me and Gary just told ourselves before we got on the call about the one lady I was talking to, which you need to get louder. You need to get louder with your marketing, with your branding. But man, it's perfect.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Make some noise.
It's crazy. You literally just said the same exact thing we were just saying before we got on the call.
And that happens almost every time we call somebody. See, don't get like every time we talk about something beforehand, that person always finds a way to iterate it in the interview. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. Energy is confirmation. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I was like before. What kind of books do you read to keep your entrepreneurial mind going?
Oh man, one of the first books I read, of course, is Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Of course.
That was one of the first ones that I read, and to be honest, due to my time and lack thereof, I haven't been able to read as much as I would have liked. I think one of the main books I read more than any of them, of course, is the Bible. Unfortunately, I don't find a lot of time for that either, which I can't believe I just said on radio. But,
hey, you being truthful.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm all about honesty, man. I don't have all my ducks in a row, man. But I'm perfect. Who does? I mean, I'm not perfect. Who does? Mm-hmm. So I feel like as far as the reading, I have so many books that I desire to read. Leading and Living at the Next Level by Bishop B. Courtney McBath talks about being a leader and living and basically growing your potential in areas you hadn't thought. That's another book. And a lot of it has been, believe it or not, a lot of internet blogs of other business owners and their plight to become successful. There's a lot of things I read on what other businesses, like the successful businesses and the owners, they talk about the things that they do on a daily basis, kind of like a mantra of things that they do to try and that they do every night. There's some people that only work at night. I can't necessarily do that just yet, but there's some that only work at night because the peace of the night helps them to be able to concentrate better on their task. And, everybody's sleep or what have you, and they can just concentrate more so without any interruptions. There's so many different things that I've read on other businesses to try and emulate, because you have to kind of have a model to go after with your business.
Yes, sir.
You can't just go blindly and say, this is what I'm going to do. And, my prideful self at the beginning didn't believe that. I said, hey, I'm going to be better than Geek Squad, but I didn't even know what Geek Squad did wrong. I was just mad at it. And I just wanted to be able to, I had to learn to use them as a model. I said, this is where I'm trying to go. Let me look at what they do and see what it is that I can do differently or better, or what is it that I can improve on, that they do to make myself that much better. So you have to kind of sew into that. That's called market analysis. You have to kind of look at what's going on around you, compare, contrast, and also see what they're doing that you could not necessarily copy, but emulate to make it a little better. Mm-hmm. To make yourself that much different than the company that you are, analyzing.
Yeah, definitely. And you pointed out something that I was thinking about not so long ago, is the fact that everybody say that they read so many amount of books a year and this and that and everything, and I started to realize that reading isn't just books. This is 2016.
Oh, that's right.
It counts blogs and articles and stuff, and I read those like crazy. Blogs and articles, I read those all the time. Books, I've read them, but it's like I'll start to read it, but then like I might not have it with me all the time. So if I'm somewhere, I'm sitting there reading articles on my phone or something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm constantly always feeding. So people got to also realize that it's not always just about your book count.
That's
it's
true.
just about finding ways to feed your mind, and there's a lot of different ways to do it. A lot of different ways.
Man. There's no point in having a big old bookcase in your house with a ton of books and you don't read them. I can put all of them on my iPad and keep it moving.
Hey.
Yeah, so what's some words you have for some early on entrepreneurs, anyone that's listening that can use some advice and some motivation? What kind of parting words you have for them?
That anything is possible to them that believe. I would have never thought in a million years that I would own a computer business. When I was in my teens, all I wanted to do was play video games. I didn't want to make video games. I didn't want to learn how to computer program. I just wanted to play video games. That's all I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And no way did I see how that could have turned around and have become a computer repair business. Now, we're talking well into my adult years now, well into my marriage, and before I really realized my gift and how I could use it to bless others. I never would have saw myself mentoring. I never would have saw myself in a position to bless other businesses, more or less have my own. So there's never limit yourself with the things that you desire to do. There's a young guy that I mentor, his name is Ari, he's 19, and he says, I want a Lamborghini. And I said, do you know how much those things cost? He says, yeah. And I said, okay, how do you intend on getting that? If you're constantly standing in line for a pair of $300 shoes, and you're constantly waiting on that next video game to come out to pay $60 for, and then you're paying an extra $20 for the downloadable material, and you're spending money on things that you'll eventually end up throwing away, getting tired of, instead of investing that in yourself or into the future, how will you get that Lamborghini?
Yep.
You know, because there's things, granted, material things are great. You know, we all want those things. There's things in life that we do want. But at the end of the day, you know, those things shall pass away. And you have to really look at what you're leaving behind, what you have created for yourself. You know, there's, you know, people like Bill Gates, who created Microsoft. And, you know, he says when he dies, his kids aren't getting any of it. All this, he's the richest man in the world right now. But when he dies, all of his money is going to charity. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's making a difference, because when he leaves here, he knows he can't take it with him. You know, I like to say I've never seen a hearse carry a U-Haul. So you can't take this stuff with you. So what you do with that money when you leave, you invest it back into the people. You give it to your children, somewhere where you can leave something. Because if you're just working to survive, and then you wait to retire, and then you're barely making enough to make it from month to month, and you're passing out happy stickers at Walmart, you know, it's like have you really fulfilled your dream? You know, your dreams are not, the only thing that limits your dreams is you.
Yep.
And I can't put it any further than that. And sometimes your vision is bigger than you see on yourself, and you just kind of have to push yourself. You know, be free to take correction, because, you know, we don't have it all together. I was very prideful at the start. Pride always comes before the fall. So I had to learn to listen to people who's been there. One of my favorite things to do is to listen to old people talk, because they've been there. That's experience that I can get before I get there. You know, and people will tell me I'm wise beyond my years. You know, when I was 14 years old, I was talking like I was 30, which is fine, because I've learned so much. There are things that I don't want to participate in, because I've seen what it's done to other people. You know, I've seen the effects. So why would I want to go that way? So, you know, I hope that they get something out of all that I just said there.
I'm sure they soaked it all.
It's about 100% sure they did. Yeah, they had to. I mean, you know what's funny? You said when you was playing the games and stuff, you never would have saw yourself owning the company and everything.
Never.
But I'm pretty sure you definitely never thought that Xbox would have gave you Smart Giraffe. I'm pretty sure no one saw that was coming. That was straight out of the left field.
You, me, nobody, bro.
That's funny.
You were right about that.
But yeah, Jeris, man, we really, really enjoyed this, man. We really appreciate you coming on. We got a lot out of
the
this.
pleasure was mine, I promise. The pleasure was mine.
We would definitely be seeing you in the community. Now that I know you know Bert, now we in some of the same circles, man. We're going to see each other around a lot. And especially we're going to see July 30th. And we're going to see everybody else there July 30th. That's in 95. Bury that job. Resurrect that dream. Let's go, people.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Sure enough.
Yeah, come check out the Smart Giraffe.
Always. These contact information. How can they get in touch with you?
Well, you can find our website, www.smartgiraffecs.com. There you'll be able to find information on the business. You'll be able to book your appointment. You'll be able to see some of the services that we offer. You'll also be able to see information on our layaway, on our smart plans for maintenance, as well as the Smart Shop, where you'll be able to purchase laptops, desktops, tablets, accessories, and etc. on the site as well. Also, there's some contact information on there. If you need to get into contact with us, if you have any questions, feel free to call us at 757-943-9977. You can text or call that number. We try to make it easy for everyone. Again, that number is 757-943-9977 on smartgiraffecs.com. And you can find us on Facebook and Instagram under Smart Giraffe CS.
And
you have it, people.
Best to call if they want to talk about the internships and the junior giraffe and stuff like that.
Yes, absolutely. And feel free to leave a message if I'm not able to get back with you. We are very good at responding back.
Okay.
All righty. Sure enough. We might be a customer here soon. Like I said, we definitely need someone to edit the shows.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, we've done everything from shoot commercials for people to hanging up TVs on the wall. So, you know, we don't really limit ourselves as far as just computer services. We might just be Smart Giraffe services before long, but we try to make sure that we can accommodate the needs of the people.
That's the aim, man, to grow. That's the aim to grow.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jay, man. Thanks, brother.
No, thank you guys, man. And y'all guys have a blessed evening. Thank you so much again for the opportunity.
All right, no problem, man. Have a good one.
You too. Take care.